Hello again, everybody. Old Guy Jammin' here. We have an Overdrive pedal update and then a couple of exciting videos I just wanted to make sure you watched, as well as anybody out there that's thinking about buying a new amp. So, first off, Overdrive review. Had this Ace of Tone by Nooks that I bought and reviewed because I thought, well, hey, any two-button deal ought to be great, but I don't like it, and I cannot give it away. And it's brand spanking new. It doesn't even have an hour on it. It's on the block for, I think, $60. I'm going to have to just take a total bath on getting rid of that. So, I don't know. Now, the Nooks reverb delay is great. I like that, but I don't care for the overdrive. Now, some of you have already replied. It's awesome because I always like searching for stuff. My old buddy Macaroon said the Pugilist is the way to go, and the Metal Muff. And I have seen, you hear, you hear a lot about the Metal Muff. So that's got my interest peaked because you see it, a lot of people like that on the forums. Now, the Fender Pugilist series, well, not Pugilist, but the new Fender series of overdrive pedals looks really interesting, and I've been interested for a while. The Pugilist actually isn't a two-button deal, but it is two drives, a lesser drive and an overdrive, and then a distortion that you can choose between, have one or the other, and or both on and blend them. So interesting. So give me your thoughts on the Pugilist. Anybody else out there, let me know if you like the Pugilist. It is a bigger pedal, and that's always a concern if it just does one thing. But this has one button, but it kind of does two things. And then the Metal Muff, anybody want to raise their hand for the Metal Muff? Let me know. I thought the muff pedals were fuzz. I'm not a fan of fuzz, although two of the pedals I showed the other day have fuzz characteristics once the gain and volume are up. I'm not a fuzz player. I don't like that sound. And then also Stephen G chimed in. I love it when you guys recommend stuff and your comments about it. Recommended Strymon, and so all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my gosh, way too expensive. Because Strymon stuff, as nice as it is pricey. So it better be darn good. I love the fact that their delays have like a beat per minute or a time deal, so you don't have to fiddle with trying to synchronize your repeats with whatever the worship leader is doing. You can just, if your song that day is in 92 beats per minute, you can dial in your repeats, because sometimes worship music is very ethereal and the repeats go on for a while. And it's much better if those repeats sync up to your picking tempo. All right. So anyway, Stephen G says, likes the idea that there's no perfect overdrive, and because that's true, it's all totally subjective. But Strymon Riverside, and there's another one that people compare it to a lot. So there's two of them there by Strymon, because I've already dug into this a little bit. I'm looking at it. And then also he loves, excuse me again, Boss SD1 and the TS9. And I will tell you that just last night I was playing with the Boss DS or SD1, and gosh, while it's not transparent at all, it does have a tendency to grab your tone by the short hairs and throw it around the room. It is finding a place already of creating pleasant reactions from me myself, especially coupled with the 385 drive and the TS9, which is the other drive that Stephen G commented on. Three favorites: Strymon Riverside, Boss SD1, and TS9. All right. So let me know if you think, what do you think about the Strymon? Also, let me know what you think about the Pugilist. It's the Fender stuff, because I have a thing about Fender, and you know it. But is it worthwhile? So, cool deal. Now, the video I want you all to watch, I just came across it this morning by I think it's P Psionic or P Sonic. You'll see when you bring it up. but a tech, and he sounds reputable, his delivery is great. A tech delivers his opinion of what are the best amps under $1,000 based on ease of maintenance, reliability, durability, and tone. So all that stuff combined. He also has a video on the best amps under $500, which is cool. But and then I've also noticed already there's a lot of mods and upgrade videos he does. So this is the kind of channel I really like. I, for one, don't mind when somebody just starts talking. I like a tonal reference, but tone on YouTube only gets you so far. I know this from experience in doing my own videos. What I hear in the room is not always what I hear on YouTube. I can do a tube swap or a speaker swap, and while what I hear in the room is freaking amazing, what I hear when I play back my own video is, well, I don't know if I even hear the difference. Also, nothing against Guitar John. Love Guitar John, Sonic Studios. But he did a 20 amp Lunchbox high gain review. And I just got to say, all those things pretty much sounded the same because they're all going, and he doesn't mic stuff. So that's one thing, pet peeve of mine. But everything goes into his 2 notes or whatever his capture device is. And then it's processed and delivered to his DAW and out to YouTube. But there's such a loss in what we do in the room and what ends up on YouTube that I really appreciate when somebody I respect and trust talks to me about an amp. And when they say the JJ Junior is more open sounding than the Runt 20, even though to me that seems reversed, it seems like the Runt 20 would be more open than the JJ Junior. If someone tells me that, I take that to heart, and because I know what that means. And they could play them back to back on the YouTube, and I won't hear the difference of what they're talking about. But when they say one is more open than the other, I understand that, and I can appreciate that, and it helps guide me in the right direction. So anybody out there doing your own videos and talking it up like I have a tendency to do, keep it up. It's good stuff. All right, so look in the description for those links and pass them around, because for me, it's the kind of video I'd like to see a whole lot more of. Old Guy Jammin's out. Hit that sub, hit that share, hit that like.